Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Ash Banish, and in this video I'm just going to be updating you on my new nostril piercing. So I got my left nostril pierced at the beginning of September and it was pretty uneventful for the first couple of weeks. And then one night it came out of my sleep and somehow by magic, despite being half asleep and it being a new piercing, I managed to get it back in. And I was really proud of myself, I was really happy with myself. I didn't even leave my bed, I didn't even sit up fully, I just somehow managed to do it and I was like, cool. So I thought because I managed to get it back in without much trouble that it would just be okay. But no, obviously my body wanted to develop a bump, as it always wants to do with like every fucking piercing I get. So yeah, I had a little bump on my nose and it wasn't painful or anything, but obviously it just didn't look nice and it's on your face. So that was really annoying, and I kind of felt like no matter how much I babied it, it had a mind of its own. Like some days it would be fine, it would look like it's going down and all of that stuff, and other days it would just flare up out of nowhere for no reason. It was weird because I felt like a lot of the time the days I was really like good with it, it flared up, and the days that I knocked it and things like that, it was fine. And it was just really confusing and really fucking annoying. Another issue I had with the piercing was I found having 2 nostril screws in my nose and 2 septum rings, it made it really crowded. Like it was cold season. Yeah, I had a cold at one point and I just felt like, you know, like the whole city was stuck up my nose. Like it just felt so crowded. So that was really annoying. So what I did do is I did buy some 1mm librettes for when my piercings were healed, just to create a little bit more space. Because to be honest, I fucking hate nostril screws. Like, I can put them in other people, but for some reason, putting them in myself is just like, I don't know, it's like the hardest thing ever. I don't know if it's because it's my nose or, well, but I can do it in other people, just not myself. But yeah, tying into that, I ended up having to use these librettes sooner than I anticipated, as my nose screw came out again, and this time I just couldn't get it back in. And that's why I was so amazed that I got it back in the first time. 1, because it was so new, and 2, because I know what I'm like with nostril screws. I know they are like my kryptonite. So yeah, I couldn't get my nostril screw back in, and the librettes I had were obviously slightly shorter and for when my piercings were healed. But yeah, I kind of had to make a choice. Like if I wanted this piercing to stay open, I had to put something in it. So I put the librettes in both, and it was fine in my healed nostril piercing that I've had for years. But because I had the bump on my new nostril piercing, it was a little short, and the tiny ball on the end of the librette started to embed in like the bump and the piercing, and I was a little worried. So I immediately ordered some slightly longer librettes. However, these took a few days to come, and I kind of felt like by the time they arrived, like I'd had this stud in for so many days and it had been fine. Like I kind of was like, is there a need to change it? But to be on the safe side, I put the longer librette in. However, there was also an issue with that because the back of the librette was sitting against my back septum ring, and like it basically meant it was too long. Like it couldn't go any further into my nose, meaning it was sticking out, and because it was sticking out on the outside of my nose, I just kept catching it and I just felt like I was irritating it even more. So eventually I did swap back to the shorter librette, and to be honest, it's been fine since then. I was really careful to keep an eye on it to make sure, 1, the balls were tight because they're so tiny and it just seemed like, you know, if they fall off, I'm never going to find them again. And 2, I just kind of made sure every day, like I poked it out a bit just to make sure it wasn't embedding. And with time and care, the bump eventually went, and it's been pretty much fine since then. The only issue I've had recently is I've got a spot like just a couple of millimeters away, and it's just fucking annoying because it just reminds me of the bump. And at first I did think it was a bump, but luckily I realised no, it's just a spot. And it's going down now, but it's just annoying, obviously. To be honest, that's all there really is to say about my new nostril piercing. Like, I wouldn't say it's healed, but it's definitely on the way there, and it seems fine now. The only issue I currently have is that I think the bump has changed the angle of the piercing slightly, making it about 1mm lower than it was originally. And obviously that means with paired nostril piercings that they don't look exactly even. But you know, it's minor. Like, I don't think it's super noticeable, so it doesn't really bother me. Like, unless you stare at my nose or you're a body piercer, or you know, you're paying way too much attention to it, then you're not going to notice. They still look even to me, like at a glance, even at a longer stare. As I said, unless you're focusing on it and like really trying to look at them, then I don't think it's noticeable. I'm going to end the video there because, as I said, I don't think there's a lot more I can say. Like, I'm just telling you the ordeals I've been through while I've had the piercing, and you know, there's not much more that I've been through with it. But you know, as usual, if you have any questions, just drop a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. As a thank you for watching, I'm giving you 10% off at wholeheartedlondon.com, so be sure to head over there and add anything you fancy to your basket, and then enter the code YouTube at the checkout to claim your 10% off.